ELN Local News is working hard to bring you the big stories.
Here's what we're following tonight.
Raw chicken and unclean cups are not worth $5,000.
More complaints against ELN dining. Some students are asking when the conditions will be fixed.
They were telling us we need to sit down or we're going to get kicked out of the game.
Football games are usually a time to cheer and support your team, but this weekend's game brought some controversy.
You know, we're not just tattooed and pierced up freaks. We have a heart too.
Tattoos and piercings, how one Burlington business is using its services to give back to the community.
You're watching ELN Local News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Sky Cowens.
And I'm Megan Ford. Moldy food, raw chicken, and dirty cups are the most recent complaints from students against ELN dining.
The most recent problems are happening at the newest dining hall on campus. Nicole Chadwick has the story.
Complaints about ELN dining services continue, the most recent one at Lakeside Dining Hall.
It was pretty gross.
Jessica Trinidad cut into an unexpected dinner last week at Lakeside Dining Hall.
They gave it to me, and when I was cutting into it, it was completely raw on the inside.
An Aramark worker served her raw chicken. And when Trinidad brought it back, she was even more surprised by the response.
Showed her the chicken and said, oh, like, hi, like, I just want to let you know, like, some of the chicken wasn't cooked through, and she kind of cut me off and just stopped me and was like, oh, honey, like, I already know, and just, like, walked away.
Trinidad tweeted at ELN Dining along with many other unsatisfied students. Students complained of dirty cups, moldy bagels, and hair in their deli wraps, all of which they're paying for in the thousands of dollars a year.
Raw chicken and unclean cups are not worth $5,000.
Lakeside Dining Hall joins Colonnades with receiving sanitation grades of 90 or below this year. Kate Nelson is the marketing manager for ELN Dining Services on campus and says ELN Dining is still working to improve the conditions.
We will make sure that we address this issue with the Lakeside Dining staff. It's very important that anytime something like that happens, that if it's not handled appropriately, that we ask for a manager or come to the dining office. One of us is always around and we can kind of address the issue immediately because it's very serious.
But for now, Trinidad says she has her own solution.
Me and my roommate bring our own cups to Lakeside.
ELN Dining Services is not planning on refunding the students for the meals, but they are enforcing temperature protocols. Outside Lakeside Dining Hall, I'm Nicole Chadwick, ELN Local News.
Chick-fil-A is now back on campus, but you might notice the restaurant is not full service. That means breakfast is not served. Marketing manager Katie Nelson says the original menu included breakfast. They eliminated the option after the university decided to locate the restaurant in downstairs McEwen. Nelson says the university may look into expanding the menu in the future.
First on ELN Local News, an attempt to show school spirit ended with some students getting kicked out of the football game this weekend. Our sports reporter Justin Beagle joins us with the story. Justin?
Megan and Sky, ELN Athletics encourages school spirit, but for some students at Saturday's game, their spirit ended with a personal escort out of Rhodes Stadium.
In a season where wins are hard to come by, the ELN football team still manages to produce a lively game-time atmosphere for the ELN community. But for junior Michael Lindsay, Saturday's game was a little bit different.
People in the yellow jackets came down to us at one point and they were telling us we need to sit down or we're going to get kicked out of the game.
But Lindsay chose to keep cheering.
And then later in the game, probably like 30 minutes later, we all stood up at once, the entire section, and then they came back down and were saying again that we were going to get kicked out.
A security officer escorted Lindsay and his friends out of the stadium after receiving a complaint from another fan in the adjacent section. But according to ELN Athletics, the security volunteer did not have the authority to remove them from the game. Junior Casey Brown was also in the student section, and she says she was not happy with the situation.
It's just kind of stupid because it's the student section of the football game, and it was on a rainy day that they were lucky that there were any of us.
Brown voiced her concerns on Twitter, and word spread quickly.
And so somehow some ELN athletic representative heard about it, I guess, and they just and they walked down and were clearly given a stern talking to the person who had kicked us out of the game. And at that point, we were all let back in and without a problem.
And Brown thinks the decision was a good one.
Elon Athletics promotes living the maroon life, so they should support all of us being there and standing up and being into the game. And no matter if it's 12 of us or there's like 50 of us.
Elon Athletics first heard about the problem on Twitter. They also say there is no clear-cut policy on handling situations such as this one, but say that the security should have relocated the fan who had complained. I'll be back later in the show with more coverage on sports. In the studio, Justin Beagle, Elon Local News.
Thanks, Justin. Dean of Elon College of Arts and Sciences, Allison Morrison Shetlar, accepted a new position as provost at Western Carolina University today. Faculty received an email from Provost Stephen House this afternoon about the change. Morrison Shetlar will begin her position in February 2014. She spent almost 3 years at Elon and oversaw 19 academic departments, 26 minors, and the pre-law and pre-health programs. Allison and President Leo Lambert will begin discussions soon to select a successor. If you walk past the Mosley Center, you might see some changes in the parking lot. Members of Elon's faculty and Board of Trustees gathered Friday to break ground for the future Inman Admissions Center, which will house the admissions department. The new building is set to open in January 2015. President Lambert and Vice President of Admissions Greg Zeiser both spoke at the ceremony, and Zeiser says the new building is an important place to promote the university to prospective students.
I'm looking forward to all of us being together. We're a good, tight staff. We work well together. We collaborate. And this will be the first time in the 20 years that I've been associated with admissions at Elon that we've all been under one roof.
And for some students, these changes are bringing new hassles. Before fall break, Dr. Smith Jackson emailed the university about the changes coming to the parking lot. Elon Local News reached out to several students for a comment. One student says he supports the school's decision to continue expanding Elon's campus, but thinks the school should offer other parking options, such as a parking garage.
But for now, students will have to park in designated lots around campus. Commuter students with a Mosley or McMichael parking pass can no longer park in those lots. Now, students must park at the Colonnades, Danley Center, East Gym, Arts West, or Hunt Stadium parking lots.
Now that temperatures are dropping and winter is right around the corner, flu season is here, and Elon Health Services is giving shots for only $20. This Thursday, flu shots will be offered in McKinnon Hall from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Shots will also be given Tuesday, October 29th from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. in Lakeside Room 212. Retailers such as Rite Aid, CVS, and Target are all offering flu vaccines. And depending on what kind of health insurance you have, the cost of your shot may vary. And although these tips may seem obvious, the CDC recommends washing your hands regularly, avoiding sharing drinks, and wiping down surfaces such as keyboards and cell phones to help prevent spreading germs.
Healthcare reform will take center stage at Elon on November 4th. The university is partnering with the Times News in Burlington to host a panel. Students, professors, and industry experts and members of the community will discuss and debate these public policy issues. The first panel will take place on Monday, November 4th at 7 p.m. Elon Local News will stream the event, so make sure to tune in.
Coming up, one Burlington business is giving back to the community. Find out who after the break.
No Instagram filters were available when the owner of this camera store went to Elon. I'm Joe Bruno, and I'll tell you what's unique about his photos coming up.
And coming up, the Phoenix took on Chattanooga this weekend. We'll have those highlights later on in the show.
Last year, the Olympics were in London, but this year, North Carolina hosted its own Olympics. Our John Martin has the story.
My big thing is just making sure they have fun and make sure their sportsmanship is good.
Doris Hill understands the need for the Special Olympics. It's something that hits close to her heart.
I had a sister who had special needs, and I just lost her last month.
Now, she's helping coach the Burlington bocce ball team. Athletes from all over the state came to compete this weekend. Getting into the tournament is difficult. Hill says each team earned their spot.
To get to the state games, you have to go to a qualifier. And this is the first year in Burlington that we've had both the qualifier and the state games here.
Events of this size require a lot of manpower. I looked into exactly what it takes to make these run smoothly.
From the logistics to setup to scheduling, there's a lot to do. But High Point coach Casey Lowe says that it's the volunteers that make it happen.
Every event runs so smoothly because of all the volunteers and the staff and the coaches, and everything else that you can come up with is just perfect.
But event coordinator Stephen Glon says the Special Olympics can always use more help.
Biggest problem we have, number one problem. We showed up today and we put out volunteer emails and blasts to everybody. We needed approximately 45 volunteers here, 20 people sign up. We did have quite a few from ELN.
But Glon says helping out is worth it.
Great. It's a blessing. I love it. I'm doing what I want to do, not what I have to do.
The Special Olympics will continue through November. The next event will be held in High Point on November 9th and 10th.
Inferno Inc. is a local tattoo and piercing parlor here in Burlington. And for the month of October, they found a way to help more than just their customers. Our Corey Shegda has the story.
I got 155 of them.
Each of Elizabeth Jinx's tattoos has a meaning. She's comfortable covered in ink and piercings, but thinks some people have a different opinion.
They see me coming down the road, they're like, oh my God, why did you do that to yourself? You're so beautiful.
Jinx now works at Inferno Inc. in Burlington. She says even though there might be negative stereotypes about tattoos, the store's employees are giving back to the community.
So we wanted to pick up on something that had $0 invested in it.
The animal community, that is. For the month of October, customers can bring in donations for the Biscuit Foundation, an organization that provides homes for animals who lost their owners. The reward? Each customer will get a discount on their tattoos or piercings.
Well, what kind of business will we be if we don't give back to our community? So, like I said, we're all pet lovers. He just decided to pick up something to see how it would work.
And the ELN community is helping support the cause.
I'm telling you, most of ELN kids, they're the ones that's coming in here, getting the free piercings and the half-off tattoos and giving us supplies more so than the community.
Inferno Inc. already delivered truckloads of supplies to the foundation, including pet food, leashes, and bowls. Jinx says she hopes her efforts will improve her relationship with the community.
We're not just tattooed and pierced up freaks. We have a heart too. We have a family too, and we care outside this shop. So it's just family oriented. It makes us feel good.
Corey Shegda, ELN Local News.
If you want more information on the Biscuit Foundation and their services, visit www.biscuitfoundation.org.
And if you're looking to get some volunteer hours, want to adopt a pet, or just want a little puppy love, here are some other places in the area you can visit. The Guilford County Animal Shelter in Greensboro is hosting several adoption fairs in October and November. You can adopt a kitten for only $20. This fee includes services like neutering and vaccinations. And if you need to get some volunteer hours, the Burlington Pet Adoption Center is taking volunteers. You can help train, groom, or even just play with the animals. All you need to do is fill out an application form.
When you think of scholarships, you might think of academics or sports, but one ELN alumnus received a scholarship for a completely unique talent. Our Joe Bruno has that story.
Camcor. It's a local Burlington camera shop that's been around for decades and has seen many changes.
So we've gone from black and white film to color film for all those years, and then 4, 5, 6 years ago we become into the digital revelations.
Ray Bailey Sr. is the owner and a 1971 ELN college graduate, but he says attending ELN is all thanks to someone he calls his golden angel.
At the graduation ceremony, right after it, I had word from Dr. Danley that he'd like to see me in his office.
Dr. Danley presented Bailey with an offer in high school he couldn't turn down, a scholarship to ELN, but on one condition. He had to take a job as the university photographer during his time in college.
I processed a lot of the pictures to be sent out for newspaper releases. And it was, again, an opening to me, someone who had never really been out in the world, to begin to learn how things work.
Now, when Bailey was in charge of taking photos, they were in black and white, and the technology, well, it was a lot different than what we have now. But that didn't stop him from being creative.
When I back up and think about it, I'm saying, wow. We've seen a lot of transition, so today you can do digitally what years ago you could not do.
But he says he owes all of his success to one person.
Dr. Danley, thank you very much. You gave me an opportunity to move forward. You gave me encouragement. And thank you for all that you've done for me and for all the other folks that people don't know about behind the scenes.
Joe Bruno, ELN Local News.
For more stories about
This
Elon's
weekend brought some
history
cooler
and
temperatures,
future,
but are they
join
here?
Elon Local News on December 2nd at 5 for a special 125th anniversary broadcast. The show will also run here on Channel 5 later that evening at 6. And coming up on Elon Local News, one Burlington attraction is kicking off the Halloween season with a piece of history that's more than 100 years old.
This weekend brought some cooler temperatures, but are they here to stay? I'm Jeff Ackerman with your Phoenix 5-day forecast coming up.
The last few days brought both rain and sun to Elon. Our Jeff Ackerman joins us live in downtown Elon with what we can expect this week. Jeff?
Good evening, Megan and Sky. We had a beautiful sunny day out today. Lots of students were walking around campus wearing shorts and t-shirts, but the temperatures are getting a bit cooler out right now, something Elon's been getting used to these past couple of weeks. This morning when you left your house, you might have seen your own breath when you walked out your front door. That's because temperatures did reach as low as 34 degrees, but as we saw throughout the day, temperatures did reach as high as 69. Right now the temperature is around 64 degrees. And Elon Local News has you covered for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. We can expect cloudy skies for the rest of the week. Tomorrow will be the warmest day with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 50 degrees. Both Wednesday and Thursday will reach highs of 60 degrees with temperatures as low as 35. And Friday, you may need to bring out that jacket because temperatures could be as low as 31, ranging up to 53 degrees. Now, Megan and Sky, I recommend you take advantage of these warm days while they're still around because those colder temperatures and winter season are approaching quite quickly. I'm live on Williamson Avenue. Jeff Ackerman, Elon Local News.
Thanks, Jeff. There are many haunted trails in North Carolina, but our Mackenzie Murray found one family with a haunted trail close to their own home.
I think they finally got one.
Clowns, monsters, and vampires. They're all a part of Haunted Forest Reborn. April Tate and her family have run the Haunted Trail attraction since the 90s.
We had went to one and we liked it so much, we decided to come back, think about it, and it's like, we could do this.
And the attraction is only a few feet from her house.
Actually, what we call it is we play in my woods.
Tate enjoys all parts of her haunted trail, but one of the most special ones is sitting right here.
That cauldron belonged to my husband's great-great-grandmother, and the cauldron is actually over 150 years old.
And there's one really spooky part about it.
The cauldron that is out there was used actually for witchcraft.
Tate says her husband's great-great-grandmother actually cast a spell on the cauldron.
Only family members can touch it without any harm coming to them.
AJ Jones works for Tate and he believes the curse is real.
There's only 2 people in this forest who can tell you to touch it, and that's the 2 owners. If they don't tell you to touch it, it's a bad idea.
Tate says that even though the cauldron is haunted, it's still an important part of the attraction.
It's a wonderful piece of history.
Mackenzie Murray, Elon Local News.
If you want to see the cauldron for yourself, you can head to Burlington this weekend or on Halloween night.
If you're looking for some other places to visit this Halloween season, there are several options in the Triad. Woods of Terror in Greensboro is ranked as one of the top 10 scares in the country, and it's only 30 minutes down the road. Tickets cost $15 Sunday through Thursday and $25 on Friday and Saturday. Spooky Woods in High Point is another option. Tickets are $20 and include access to 8 different spooky attractions, including a haunted cathedral, hayride, and a haunted inn. Also, if you're looking for a scare, Nightmare on Scale Street will give you something to scream about. Owners say the attraction is actually haunted. Tickets are $20, but if you like their page on Facebook, you can receive $5 off the cost of your ticket.
And if you're planning on dressing up this Halloween season but are on a tight budget, you may want to look into some cheaper options. Our Katie Maraghi joins us with some tips for finding the best deals. Katie?
Thanks, guys. With Halloween right around the corner, you may be thinking about costumes. And if you're looking to cut back on spending for the holiday season, here are some tips for getting dressed up for the scariest night of the year. First, before whipping out your wallet, ask around and see if people have costume parts you could borrow. No need to spend money if you don't have to. Also, if you're also looking to buy your costume, check out coupons before you go. Lots of companies release both paper and online coupons right before Halloween. That way you can get discounted costumes, free shipping, or buy one get one free deals as well. Next, look at local stores like Goodwill and the Salvation Army to get savings through thrift shops. There are always hidden gems if you know where to look. So before heading straight to the costume store, maybe check out the used stuff first. And finally, after the 31st each year, there are huge discounts as stores try to clear out what's left of that year's supply. So early November, poke around and see what kind of discounts you can find for next year. Looking out for the college consumer, I'm Katie Merrigue, ELN Local News.
Coming up after the break, basketball season is right around the corner. Our Justin Beagle talks with one of the players to kick off the season.
Thanks for tuning into this ELN Sports Update. I'm Justin Beagle. October is known for two things. First, Halloween. The other, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And on Saturday, the football team supported those who are battling breast cancer in the annual Live Pink game. The Phoenix returned to Road Stadium after 2 weeks on the road on Saturday to face Chattanooga. Unfortunately, Elon struggled to score against the Mocs' 8th-ranked defense. We picked the game up in the second quarter with the Phoenix up 3-0, but that quickly ended when Chat running back Keon Williams burst into the end zone on this goal line play. On the next Phoenix possession, Elon responded when Kier Brown makes a shoestring catch and then sprints into Mocs territory. That would lead to another John Gallagher field goal. But Chattanooga blew the game open into the second half when Williams ran to the end zone for his second score of the game. Elon fell to 2-6 on the season and with a 20-9 loss and look to rebound against Western Carolina next weekend. Now as the football season winds down, another season begins, basketball season. Members of the Elon community gathered in Alumni Gym on Friday night to get a glimpse of the men's and women's basketball teams in the first ever late night with the Phoenix. The event featured a scrimmage, contests, and even a dance recital. Now the start of the basketball season may still be a few weeks away, but I sat down with one player, Jack Eisenberger, to get his thoughts on the upcoming season. Hello and welcome to Alumni Gym. I'm Justin Beagle alongside Jack Eisenberger, the men's basketball team. Getting ready for the start of the basketball season. Jack, last year you guys made it to the postseason for the first time as a Division I program. You know, came to the semifinals in the SoCon tournament. How did last year, the end of last year, prepare you guys for this year?
I think, like you mentioned earlier, kind of left a bitter taste in our mouth not winning the SoCon tournament. And so our guys have just come back even hungrier, ready to go get a title. And, I think we're deeper and stronger than we've ever been this year.
Not to put a lot of pressure on you guys. I know the polls and everybody else have, but USA Today has you guys making the tournament this year. The SoCon coaches poll, everybody's ranking you guys to win this year. Do you guys think you're going to be able to play through all that pressure and be able to deliver a SoCon title this year?
Oh, no question. I mean, we've got the talent, we've got the experience, and we would be happy. We won't settle for nothing but a SoCon tournament championship and hopefully a regular season championship because, like we were talking about earlier, we're deeper than we've ever been this year. And I think we can surprise some people and we can live up to those expectations.
You can catch Jack and the rest of the men's basketball team here at Alumni Gym for the season opener on Monday, November 4th when they take on Lynchburg in an exhibition game. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ELN Sports for the latest scores and updates from that game. Now, Eisenberger had a boot on his left shoe, but told me off the record that it's just a strain and he should be ready to go for opening night. So good news, Phoenix fans, Jack should be back in time for the start of the season. That's it for sports. Sky and Megan, back to you.
Thanks, Justin. That's all the time we have for this Elon Local News. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 9:50 for this week's ELN Morning.
Knockout Perez will be in the studio performing live. We'll also have the best foods from the State Fair. And as always, our College Coffee correspondent Matt Lee will be live at College Coffee. Also be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the news that matters to you.
Also check back to our website at elonlocalnews.com. From all of us here at Elon Local News, have a great week, Elon.